special guest.
John,
What's happening? John Romero.
Hello.
How are you keeping, sir?
How's it going?
Welcome to the show. How are you?
I have to say your pants are fantastic.
Guess how much it costs?
Can I just do that?
Guess how much?
€20.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Pretty good.
John.
So direct from China.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get on Wish or something like that?
I
Do you
remember
even know
ordering
what the
that.
hell Wish is?
Yes, I would not order anything on Wish.
I order loads of stuff on
I know,
Wish.
I just heard from people that everything breaks.
It does,
Yeah,
but
it
if you
does.
order something like something
But you
stupid...
can order 5 of them, it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered 5 of these snails, right? And it's for your tea bags. They sit in the edge of your cup and you wrap this string around it so it doesn't fall in.
Yeah,
Dude,
smart.
and it never broke.
Oh, yeah, I can see some things make sense.
Yeah.
John, you only have a few minutes, so we're just going to ask you a few questions. How are you finding Gamerfest, and how do you think it differs from, say, the big events that I'm sure you've been at every?
I think it's got the same density. You know, it's like the same amount of people because it's not as big a space as like Dublin Comic Con, but the amount of space that's here is full of people, which is really good.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know how many more people could come into Galway to come to one of these.
Yeah.
But this seems like a really good size.
You seem to be very active in Ireland the last couple of years. How do you find the gaming scene in Ireland as it kind of evolved?
It's great.
The last couple of years?
It's great because like we didn't come here thinking that there was a big like gamer scene. Like there was Comic Cons and player expos and in the Gamerfest and stuff like that. We were here for game development, and there's a lot less people here to do that. But there's like in Galway, there's like 10 game companies.
Yeah,
and
EA are here, aren't they?
Well, EA's got 400 people at the
Yeah.
end of town.
You have careers. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so they got EA, but we got a lot of other little developers all in town.
And tell us exactly what are you part of one of the colleges? Are you doing your own thing, or?
So we have a game development company right down the street, 5-minute walk from here. It's basically city center.
Okay.
And
what's
it's
the
called Romero Games.
Perfect.
It's right on the building.
Perfect.
If you know where, what is it? The pizza place, Dobro's Pizza.
Yeah, we're
it's
actually
right on Middle Street.
That's great.
So if you're looking at the doorway of Dobro's, just turn your head 90 degrees to the right, and there's our whole building. You'll see the name on it and everything.
Go in there and we'll be VIP for the day.
Knock on the door.
Oh yeah.
For a cup of tea
Ding
or something.
dong.
Hi,
Yeah.
John. I'm just here for tea.
Yeah.
You come in and
Just casually
see
walk
the
in and
games.
sit down when everyone's looking at you. It's like,
So you're kind of full time in there, or is
Oh
it,
yeah, totally. Yeah, that's our company. We have a whole team of people working on games, and we're making 3 games right now. And it's
Can you tell us
super
what
busy.
they are?
no.
All secret.
But if you need a tester,
We have 2
John-
full-time testers all day long. They just
John,
sit there
look at me,
testing.
John.
We advertise for testers, and we already got people applying and hired somebody.
So if I slip in my name there, you're like, oh, I know her. It's cool.
That's been mine too.
We would have hired you if we didn't just hire some other woman.
See that?
Instead, I know it's just last week.
What about if we do it
One
for
day
free?
I'll be
It's like,
there.
boom, here's the ad. Boom, it's over.
One day I'll be there. One day.
And
You gotta watch the ads.
originally, you came to Ireland just to create this company. What attracted you to Ireland, knowing that the gaming industry wasn't?
People like you
The
guys.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
the
long
people
you-
are amazing in Ireland. The country is unbelievable.
How long are you living here?
3 years so far.
And you're
Yeah.
going to stay here for another couple of hopefully.
We're not going. Well, we don't have anything in the U.S. I sold everything.
Okay.
Wow.
There's
Oh,
nothing there except my mom. Like, that's
You
it.
just
Like,
got
and
your
she'll move here.
Really?
Right? Yeah, she'll be moving here at some point. You know,
awesome.
my brother's there. That's like really my whole family is still back there. But I've moved all over the world. I've lived in so many places, so I'm not always next to family. I'm always not near family.
This is your home away from home, is what you're saying.
This is the new home. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is our new home. I mean, we bought a house here. We have a house. We have a
Is
car.
it in Galway?
Yeah.
Galway's beautiful.
Yeah.
I lived here for 2 years. I'm from Midlands, and Galway is the perfect spot that you want to go.
It's
visit
nice. Yeah,
Ireland.
we noticed, like Galway is a vacation spot in Ireland.
Yeah.
And for us, it's Kerry.
Oh,
Everyone comes in here, and then we go to Kerry.
Waterville's the nicest place I've ever been
Where
to.
is- which
Kerry.
place?
Waterville.
Oh yeah, Waterville's great.
They have a nice. I don't know if it's still there. They used to have a nice statue of Charlie Chaplin because his house is down there, and
yeah.
his daughter still lives in the house now and again, and she has a house in
Wow.
Dublin. Yeah.
Yeah, we like Skibbereen and Skull, West Cork.
That's your break.
We love Letterkenny. Donegal's amazing.
Yeah.
You name it. We've
How's
done
it
Such a
small
thing
country
to
is.
adapt to how Irish people talk.
Not long at all. Not long, not long at all. I mean, it's English.
Is it though?
It is. I mean, you guys travel Europe, and you go to like every country is a different language.
True that.
You know, and for us, Ireland is the friendliest English-speaking language in the world.
You've heard it live.
You've heard it
You heard it live. See, I wasn't lying all the time.
Absolutely.
John, do you get to play many games? Being being obviously with the company developing games constantly. Do you, like what do you play? Say for downtime or not Fortnite? Anyway. Your kids do
I tried.
Your kids do enough.
I played
Fortnite,
a little PUBG, a little bit of Fortnite. Our kids are living on Fortnite and Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1, okay.
Oh yeah, Battlefield 1,
Nice.
big time.
Oh,
I love Hitman. I'm a huge
Hitman's
Hitman fan.
brilliant.
I can't wait for 2.
I can't
Do you
either.
not think Mignon, the guy in the red suit, looks like a mini version of Hitman?
Oh really?
I'm
bald and
tempted
everything.
to take out my
That's
eyeliner
right.
and just fill in the gaps.
He cosplays. He cosplays.
Yeah, he does.
Put the lines on the back of his
He's
head.
very proud. He has that as his Facebook profile and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty
He's
fun.
Hitman.
That's pretty. Yeah, it's Agent 47 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. That game, that development of that game has gone through an absolute whirlwind. From
I've played them since the very beginning. You know,
Absolution.
Hitman 2 was my favorite for
Yeah,
a really
two-
long time
two was
until this
amazing.
one in 2016
Yeah,
that came out.
A lot of people have said the same. That the
Oh
new is
my
just absolutely
god,
phenomenal.
it's unbelievable.
They've added in some new stuff with the second Hitman. You've got a ghost mode now where you can play against someone in the exact
Oh,
same.
it's in
Yes,
Bizarre.
yes.
And it
Which is
looks
what they do
amazing.
in racing games.
Yeah,
You know, like when
yeah.
you're ghosting against someone who's maybe faster than you, you're trying to beat it.
time trials.
I love it because
Oh, yeah.
I do that a lot when I'm playing Hitman.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because when you start getting more advanced in the challenge modes, they have times on them.
Okay.
Do this. It's like kill these 2 guys dressed as this within this much time, and you like have to go into a church, go down the bottom, and then a timer starts when you switch into this one certain
Yeah,
disguise. And it's like, you can only be in this disguise for 30 seconds maximum.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And it's like, oh my god, it's like
that
you're like,
sounds crazy.
Yeah.
okay, you're planning and you're looking at the auto
So you
map
play
and like
games
where these
like the
people are
Matrix,
moving.
yeah.
And
It's like the
it's
Matrix.
crazy. It's even worse. Like there's one level where you have to do a ton of climbing on the side of a building,
Yeah.
but you can't take your weapon out of your hand.
Okay.
And you can't climb without your weapon out of your hand, right?
So what's
you have
the
to
solution?
climb. You can't climb. You have to figure out how to go which stairways will get you up to the places where you need to go, but you can't do any climbing in it.
Oh,
That
It's
is nuts.
insane.
I would just drop it. I'm like, nah, I'm done.
I can't
Like,
think
nah.
that was
Challenge modes are awesome.
Is there any unfound Doom secrets, or is
Well, someone just found the last
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
But there's
One
one more,
more
isn't there?
I think that one's it because
Are you
you know
sure
nobody
you
could get a 100% on
Anything
that.
anything after that's news to you?
I think that's it.
You can tell me. I won't tell anyone.
No, the thing is, the thing is, anyone can load up any of the maps and stare at them.
Yeah.
You can just look at them, like
But
you
how
can look
come
at all
this
the
one
data.
wasn't found until recently?
Because like not everyone's a programmer, so you can look at the level and you can look at like, okay, there's a secret right there,
Yeah.
but the game won't let me get it because because of the way that it is
There's a
placed in the level.
formula to try and get through.
Yeah, it's just you have to use the way the code works
Yeah.
to get you into that sector.
Okay.
And the only way to do that is to let a monster hit you without you moving yourself.
Yeah.
A monster has to hit you into it
Push you through
to
the wall.
push you over at the certain height, so you're not below it, but you're at the. It's crazy.
Who thought of that, John?
I guess the Zero Master, right? The guy. Well, I mean, I made the level and I put that in there, but the guy who solved it did a great job.
That's
you know,
wow.
luring
So
Yeah.
being in the game industry, so what would be your favorite platform of all like the
PC.
consoles and it just
PC.
PC.
Always. Master Race, yeah, PC. It's all about the mouse and
There's
keyboard.
no discrimination in here, John.
Yeah.
you were saying Hitman 2 was one of your favorites of all time.
No, Hitman 2, original Hitman 2, yeah,
But
not the new.
If you were to pick any
Maybe.
game that you've played over the years, what would be your favorite game of all time?
So hard, Minecraft or WoW, I played WoW for 5 straight years, minimum of 6 hours a day. On the weekends it was 12. I had 5, like when before Cataclysm, I had 5 80s with 3 sets of all the gear, right?
Were you like group leaders, like guys, John?
No,
Romero's
these
on
people
Let's
lived.
Go.
These other people lived. Like they were there doing it way more hours than me.
You only have some South Park?
I was making an MMO at the time too, so I needed to be an MMO.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was making one,
Yeah.
so I had to be an MMO.
Did that get released?
No, it didn't. My MMO wasn't released.
What
We
was it
worked on
called?
it for 4 years. It was codenamed Redwood.
Okay.
And it was an educational MMO for kids.
Wow.
So no one would expect it, but it looked amazing. The art was like incredible, and none of the educational stuff was visible really to kids. It was like if there was going to be anything that the kids were going to learn, they had to kind of want to get it. It would never push anything on the kids, and we kind of put it all inside of a guild that was trying to save the world. So if you want to save the world, you're getting into the educational stuff. You had to like get really smart to save the world. But everything else was just like a pure WoW style game, but without the world being a scary world like WoW is. If you go off the path, you're in an aggro radius, you're getting attacked. So this was no aggro radiuses except for specific areas that were being attacked by robots. And if you want to go over there and fight them, then the combat kids would go and do that. But other than that, the world is full of animals, and instead of combat, it's taming. So you're taming animals through music. And it's like combat. It's like inverted combat, kind of.
Can this game come out soon, please?
Yeah. I know. It's so crazy. It's really cool. I got videos and stuff of it. It was really awesome. But it was almost 10 years ago when I stopped working on it.
10, wow.
When I stopped working on it.
That's scary, man.
So, like, you said you spent 4 years developing it.
4 years making it,
Like, when does it come to a point where it's like, this isn't going to work? We had
to do an assessment of the engine because there was issues while we were developing. At this point, 4 years later, the world's getting really big, and then we start seeing errors between what we're putting in.
Hello.
Errors between what we're putting in the editor and what we're seeing in the world, and things aren't meshing.
Okay.
So we brought a technical director in who spent 2 months tearing the engine apart to find out what was the issue and if the game was going to be performant. Like did it have a good rendering pipeline? Was it going to be performant on low min-spec machines? All that kind of stuff. And he came back after two months. He was there. But after 2 months, he was just like, this is like a horribly architected client. Wow. Horribly architected. And it was for kids who do not have the best machines. Because they have their dad's machine or whatever, right?
Basically.
So they get the parents' machine. It's not that good. It needs to run well on that machine. There's no way that this architecture could perform.
If you release it now, machines have gotten better.
Oh yeah, but that was a long time ago when we were going to release it. So anyway, it was at a point where we were so far in that we had 100 people every day in the office working on it. 100 people are working on this game. Wow. And you can't say, okay, hey everyone, just chill out while we spend a year rewriting the client and the tools to all work together, right? Okay. Or, hey, hang out. We're going to take the whole engine and port it to a different engine. We're going to take the whole game, port it to a different engine, which means a whole different design because the engine we were using was a streaming World of Warcraft style engine where you just keep on running, no loads. Okay. There's no other engine that can do that, so you have to change it over to Unreal or Unity or something that does have loads, and it has levels, and you have to break the whole world into levels now, and it's like a huge design revamp.
Wow.
No matter what way you look at it, it's a year, and you can't have 100 people just sitting there paying them for a year to not do anything. Yeah. So we had to just kill the whole deal.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That is.
Would you ever go back to it though?
Oh well, yeah, it'd be amazing.
Seems like a great idea.
It was awesome.
You'll need a tester, right?
And that wasn't even the stuff that we were doing.
We're first guild.
Yeah, we can do it.
John Romero, I know you're busy. Thanks a million for coming on the show. This
no problem. Great.
I have just a question from a massive Doom fan.
Okay,
I'm
ready.
Yeah, right.
Here it comes.
Like generally, this guy Navanos, whenever you click onto his streams, he's always streaming Doom. And he just has a question for you.
Right.
Have you done any actual Doom speedruns yourself?
Oh man, I love it. Love speedruns. Yeah, and that kind of started with Wolfenstein when I started putting par-times in the levels. Mm-hmm. When I started putting par-times, I noticed like no one else was going that fast. Yeah. So I have to actually add time to the par-times to make it seem like you could maybe make it. So like in Doom 2 as an example, getting through level 1 of Doom 2, the par-time I think might be 1 minute 30 seconds or something, and I can do it in 6 seconds.
What?
Start the level, flip the switch, it's 6 seconds. Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah. So that's just like,
question,
that's a speed run, right?
Looks
that's
like I know what I'm getting into speed run next.
And if I say that now on the podcast, someone will get 5 seconds. Right? It's hard. It's you basically are just avoiding everything as fast as you can to get to the switch, open the door, flip the switch, in not it's totally different than a completist run, which is 100% kills, 100% secrets, you know, and then get to the end. Like there are so many different kinds. These speed runs were invented really, I think, in 1994, and there's a site called Doom Honorific Titles, and you get titles for every kind of way that you can play Doom. Just Tyson title for just punching everything in the game. There's a Schwarzenegger title. There's all kinds of titles for all different ways that you can get through the game. And this is from 1994, and people are now, because of the secret that was just revealed, invalidating a bunch of titles because now you can get through that way. Yeah. Right. So it's pretty crazy. So I speedrun all the time. I'm learning to set the par times.
I bet someone's already broken it.
But people are still. Right now, 5 seconds. But people are so good that I can't replicate their speedruns, even watching their demos. There's no way because it's insane. Yeah. So, like, I put the 2 more levels out 2 years ago. Put E1M8B and E1M4B out. Just made these levels, and people were doing speedruns on it. And I was watching one guy. I couldn't believe what he did. It was insane. He just like runs to an invulnerability immediately at the beginning of the level, and then he just ran across by strafe running sideways. He just got basically to flip the switch and get to the end. It was crazy, and I was trying to break it when I was making it. You'll never know, you know. And in fact, in 1997, the beginning of 1997, when I had Iron Storm started. We had a really cool website, and I basically said, all right, speedrunning Quake, and let's do a speedrun of Quake. And I just did a big challenge online. I said E2 M5, the Wizard's Mansion Quake. Yeah. I got 1 minute and 5 seconds, and then send us your demo to see if you can beat it. And some guy 40 seconds. I was like, what? 25 seconds faster? And it was because he cheated, you know, kind of. I mean, he like. Oh. There's this one part of the level that's like a 30-second delay where there's an elevator. You go in and press the switch, and the door basically Star Wars closes behind you. Like it's so fast, and then it just takes you down in an elevator and drowns you in the game. Like you go underwater and you can't get out, and you're just drowning. And then you get to the very end, and you come out and get all healed up again. So you get health before you go in, and you get healed back up. You're just terrified in the middle, and then you can speed run your way out. But what he did was he went in. And he hit the button and rocketed himself backwards. And the Star Wars door went and slammed down on him. It was so fast. And it just like he took 10 seconds of damage, and then he took off back behind him. And he just so he got to rocket jump his way all the way to the end and boom, 40 seconds.
That's amazing.
His name was Plock. It was insane.
Shout out to that guy.
People do stuff you'll never, ever understand. It's awesome.
No matter how much you watch it, you'll never understand.
Any more questions from the community?
Yeah, that was in general.
Oh, no, for John.
No, that was the
one.
Thing. He's probably pretty pleased with that.
Speedrunning.
Yes,
I love speedrunning, absolutely.
Speedrunning is something unreal. I love the fact that they do so many charities behind it. Yes. And I get so aggravated. I'm like, come on, you can do this so many times. People watch me and work, and I'm like, shh. That's so good.
Yep, I used to, like, when I was doing the E2M5 thing, like, and you're recording it, you know, and it's like, you get killed, you restart. Kill, restart. In fact, I just recently remastered one of my games and put it out, I think, in 2015. And because it's a game where people are timing the game to get through, and they're putting videos on YouTube, it's a game called Dangerous Dave, that I put a reload button at the top to do, so they could just like screw it up, bam, restart, and it just starts you right back on the same level again to try and get to the end. If you think that you screwed up, you just tap it, and boom, you just start it over.
See, that makes life so much easier. I appreciate people like you.
Yeah, to put speedrun buttons in.
I can put this in because we need it.
Because most speedrun buttons is a case of it. You either have to reset the console or you have to do.
Oh, I know, because console.
Oh, that's not hard.
No keyboard. Although the thing that when I remastered it was a touch screen, so you could just tap it. So you're just like, damn, tap. Okay, restart.
Oh my god, that's so convenient.
Yeah.
Scary,
just tapping the screen.
I have a good question for you, John.
All right.
Any chance of a selfie?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what I'm here.
This is what's making my day. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I could be like swimming in like jelly made of gold with this. It's like Inception.
Is that the first ever selfie taken on the podcast?
Oh yeah.
Can we do a selfie from all of us up here?
Yeah, let's do a selfie.
Here we go.
Okay, wait, how do we do this? Okay, everyone adjust.
It's a standing selfie, right?
Well, we're standing at the back, obviously, because
I'm not. Who's the tallest?
Oh, yeah.
I'm proudly, obviously. I'm the tallest.
Nice one, come in.
There's some weight.
Even though I'm terrible at taking off
camera.
Here we go.
Right, all the short people to the front, medium, and then.
So you can kind of be as
We
squeezed in as much as possible. Yeah, you want to sit?
The podcast, by the way.
The podcast is still rolling. Yeah.
Is it? Forget about
Okay.
it. Are we doing like?
Yeah. Here we go.
Alright, let's go.
How does this
Wait.
work?
Yeah, no, I
He's
can't.
gonna hold it. Oh, here we
We
are.
have to do it like Ellen DeGeneres. Give us it.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Hey.
Nice.
Let's make sure.
Have you ever held it down?
Baby.
There you go.
Oh God, no! Would it be really funny if you put it on video? Maybe.
First,
Oh, yeah.
25. I've done that so
And then
many
you just
times.
choose a frame.
I got a comment.
Yeah.
I'm smaller than Tinker. Yes, that is
Sometimes
correct.
the videos from my grandpa.
We're going to let John go back.
John,
as
we're
well.
gonna have to let you go.
John Romero.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, nice meeting you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for finding
Nice seeing you.
Thanks very much.
Again.
Awesome.
John, Stacey.
Thanks a lot.
Means a
Take
lot.
it easy.
Wow.
Have
Nice.
fun. Thanks for the question.
Thank you very much.
All right, see you guys later.
Bye.
And we're back.